Say hello to Mr. and Mrs. Humphries. Kim and Kris said their highly anticipated I do's in front of over 450 of their closest friends.
The tough decision to end that relationship was such a risk of losing ratings and losing my fan base. I had to take that risk from my inner peace and to be happy with myself.
Celebrity marriages can get pretty messy. Some of them are so regrettable that they didn't even pass the 6-month mark. And these are the celebrity marriages that we're going to be talking about in today's video. I'm Mackenzie, and before we get into it, make sure to subscribe if you're new here. In at number 10, Kris Humphries and Kim Kardashian. This is the wedding that no one's going to forget because after everything leading up to the union, it only lasted a measly 72 days. The reality TV star and basketball player seemed madly in love, and the couple documented basically their entire relationship on Kim's reality TV show, along with their lavish wedding ceremony. However, there was a lot of tension between the couple during the filming of their wedding process, leading some to think their days were numbered. And since they divorced only 72 days later, those people were right. Following the split, many people thought the marriage was just a publicity stunt. That rumor got so big that Humphries actually used the theory in his divorce proceedings. The divorce was so messy that it wasn't finalized until over 2 years later. In at number 9, Drew Barrymore and Tom Green. Drew Barrymore and Tom Green split after only 5 months of marriage, and usually when marriages last only a few months, there's a lot of bad blood between the former couple. But thankfully with these two, that's not the case. They even made a point to tell their fans not to go after their former partners. Both Green and Barrymore released statements praising their former spouses, proving that it is possible to remain civil after marriage. Green said about Barrymore, quote, "Drew is a wonderful woman. I love her very much. I wish our marriage could have worked out. I wish her much happiness." In at number 8, Nicolas Cage and Lisa Marie Presley. This marriage got even more attention than the usual celebrity weddings because Elvis's only daughter, Lisa Marie, was getting married. The couple even paid homage to Presley's late father and got married on the 25th anniversary of his passing in 2002. However, everyone was heartbroken when the couple announced that they would be divorcing only 3 months later. At the time, both parties were incredibly secretive about the reasoning for the split. Cage even said, quote, "I did not talk about the marriage and I'm not going to talk about the divorce." Years later, it was clear the marriage was probably just too fast and the pair didn't think it through. Presley said later on, quote, "I'm sad about this, but we shouldn't have been married in the first place." In at number 7, Britney Spears and Jason Alexander. Britney Spears and her childhood friend Jason Alexander got married and then divorced in a record 55 hours. The split didn't come as a shock to those that knew the full story though. What happened was that both of them traveled to Las Vegas to celebrate New Year's Eve, and they decided to meet up well there, along with a few of their other friends. The pair were not planning on getting married because they weren't even dating at the time, but things changed very fast. And at the end of the night, they were married in a Vegas chapel. But the very next day, Spears filed for an annulment. The reasoning was that Spears, quote, "lacked understanding of her actions and she was incapable of agreeing to the marriage." And at number 6, Nikki Hilton and Todd Andrew Meester. This couple is another one that had a quickie Vegas wedding and soon regretted it. The two married in 2004 in a ceremony that was at 2:30 a.m. And if you listen to Ted Mosby, you know that nothing good happens after 2 a.m. I personally live by that rule. Her sister Paris Hilton was in attendance and Jeff Beecher was the best man. Beecher spoke about the ceremony days after, saying, quote, "It was a beautiful small wedding with an amazing energy. The two of them are very much in love." However, their love didn't last and the couple got their wedding annulled just before 3 months of marriage. Halfway number 5, Eddie Murphy and Tracy Edmonds. This is one of the weddings that family and friends were pretty sure was not going to last based on the couple's interaction before the wedding. This one honestly reminds me a lot of Kim Kardashian and Kris Humphries. The couple decided to wed on a private island off Bora Bora on New Year's Day in 2008, but sources later told People magazine that the couple was in shambles leading up to the wedding. The source said, quote, "Eddie started yelling at Tracy in front of people. He did it on a few occasions and it was very embarrassing." 2 weeks after the rocky ceremony, they announced that they were splitting. They also claimed the wedding was only a symbolic union, not a legally binding marriage in the United States. I guess that made things a lot easier. In at number 4, Renee Zellweger and Kenny Chesney. This couple decided to get an annulment 4 months after the wedding, and at the time, the split raised a lot of questions about Chesney's sexual orientation. However, both partners denied this. Zellweger filed for a divorce on September 15th of 2005, citing fraud as the reason for the split, raising even more eyebrows. However, she later said the fraud claim was just a lie to have the annulment go through. When asked about the marriage and divorce years later, Zellweger said, quote, "I forgot about that. It's a pretty big thing to forget, isn't it? That made me sad," adding that it made her sad that a personal decision between the two of them could spark those kind of rumors. divorce. And at number 3, Kid Rock and Pamela Anderson. Many thought these two would be a match made in heaven because model and rocker couples were very common at that time. However, this was not the case, and the couple split after 4 months together. At the time, there were lots of rumors speculating what went wrong. One rumor that got a lot of attention said that they split because Anderson was in the Borat movie and Kid Rock was jealous. But Kid Rock actually revealed on the Howard Stern show that money disputes and family drama were the real reason for the split. Years later, when asked if the former couple kept in touch, Kid Rock said, quote, "Not really. If I saw her somewhere, I'd say hi, but I try not to go in the same circles. I touched the stove was hot, and I think I'm not gonna touch the stove anymore." And at number 2, Cher and Greg Allman. Cher and Greg Allman got married in 1975, only days after her divorce from Sonny was finalized, but the union only lasted 10 days before Cher decided to file for divorce, citing Allman's substance issues as part of the reason why. But that was not the end of their time together. After their divorce, the couple decided to get back together shortly after and remarried, but they were about to split again until Cher realized that she was pregnant with their son, Elijah Blue Allman. The couple only stayed together for a few months longer until they split for good in 1977. During their time together, they made an album called To the Hard Way. And at number 1, Ali Landry and Mario Lopez. Ali Landry and Mario Lopez got married in 2004, but it started off on a horrible note because Lopez had been with another woman just days before, clearly not interested in getting married. However, instead of coming clean and admitting to the cheating before the wedding, Lopez decided to pretend it didn't happen. But the truth always comes out, and after Landry found out about the cheating, she filed for an annulment. This took place 18 days after the wedding. Lopez discussed the wedding more on the Howard Stern show, saying, quote, "At that point, I was not ready to settle down. I wasn't man enough to know how to go about handling it. But things worked out well for the couple, and they're both happily married just to other people now." Alright guys, that's all for the list. Let me know your thoughts below. But before I go, I'm going to shout out some comments from my video on actors you won't recognize. So Crow said, "Zach broke his jaw. Please, y'all can do better. You can see the swelling on the one side." That could be true, although his friend denied that he had any surgery, and I didn't hear of him being in any sort of accident that would require surgery, so if that's the case, I mean, he could have just told us and no one would have cared, but he didn't really say that, so that's not what I'm thinking. Then Universal Truth said, "Scooter is no different than any music manager. He's above most in what he's calculating and smart about who he invests in. That he now owns Taylor's catalog shows just she's not as smart. He did nothing illegal, nor frankly immoral. That's the music biz cutthroat." I agree with that. I mean, really, he did nothing wrong. He bought the masters, he owns them, that's kind of the way it is. So I don't think he should get as much hate for that, but he is kind of a sketchy dude. He does some stuff to his clients that are kind of weird. Leona Lane said, "Love Mackenzie, but face tattoos? No way. Some people don't realize how lucky they are to be beautiful. Don't ruin it." Yes, I personally do not support face tattoos. Let me just put that out there. I would never get one. I don't have any tattoos, and I will probably never get one, so I'm with you there, girl. Alright guys, that's all for the video today. Thank you so much for sticking around if you made it all the way here. If you liked the video and want to see some more, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel below. I've been your host, Mackenzie Smith. Make sure to check us out on social media, and I'll catch you all in the next one.